Have you ever wanted to just, take complete control of your online privacy? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're building a personal VPN server right on a Windows computer. And trust me, it's way simpler than it sounds. By the end of this, you'll have your very own secure, private tunnel for your data that you and only you control. So, let's get started. I'm guessing if you're here, the answer to this is a big yes. Look, commercial VPNs are fine, but at the end of the day, you're trusting some other company with your data. Today, we're cutting out that middleman. We are taking back full control of our own digital footprint.
So why go through the trouble? Well, the perks are huge. You can hide your real IP address from anyone watching. You can encrypt all your data so it's unreadable to snoops. You can get around those annoying network restrictions at work or school. And, maybe most importantly, you can make sure your connection is absolutely locked down when you're on public Wi-Fi, like at a coffee shop or an airport.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll quickly cover the why. Then we'll jump right into the fun stuff, building the server and connecting a client to it. After that, we'll actually make it useful by sharing some files, we'll fix a couple of common hiccups you might run into, and we'll finish with a pro tip to make everything run perfectly.
Okay, let's kick things off. Section 1. Why build your own VPN? It really all boils down to one simple trade-off: control versus convenience.
And this slide really hits the nail on the head. A commercial service is easy. Sure, you pay a fee, you get an app, and you get tons of server locations. But when you build your own, you get total control. There are no third-party logs of what you're doing, because you are the service provider. It's the ultimate in digital privacy. And honestly, it's a fantastic way to learn how this stuff actually works.
All right, enough talk. Let's get our hands dirty. Section 2, Step 1. Creating the server. This is the foundation for our entire project, and it all happens on your main host PC.
First things first, we need to tell Windows to actually listen for our VPN connection. So you're going to head into the Network and Sharing Center and then to your adapter settings. Now here's a neat little trick. Press the Alt key. It'll make that old school file menu pop up, and that's where you'll find the magic option, New Incoming Connection. Next up, you have to decide who gets the keys to the kingdom. You'll just check the box for a user account that's already on this PC. Then, you'll tell Windows the connection is coming in through the internet, leave all the nerdy network protocols as they are, and then you hit that final beautiful button, Allow Access. And boom! Just like that, your server is officially live. Seriously, take a second and pat yourself on the back. The core of your private network is up and running. The foundation is built. That's a huge step. On to Section 3. A server isn't much fun by itself, right? So now it's time to actually connect to it. We're going to switch gears and move over to our remote computer, what we call the client, and link it up to the server we just brought to life.
Okay, so over on your client machine, the laptop you're using at the coffee shop, for example, you're going to dive into the VPN settings. Click to add a new connection. The really important part here is to choose Windows Built-in as the provider, and then just give it a name you'll remember.
Now, before we go any further, let's talk about IP addresses real quick. Just think of it like a mailing address for your computer on the internet. Your client needs to know the exact address of your server to send the connection request. It's super easy to find. Just go to your server computer, open a web browser, and search "What is my IP?" Okay, this is it, the final piece of the connection puzzle. In that server name or address box, you're going to type in the public IP address of your server. Leave the VPN type on automatic. And this part is absolutely crucial. You have to enter the exact same username and password for the account you checked off back on the server. Click Save, take a deep breath, and hit Connect. You should be in.
Moving right along to Section 4, Sharing your files. We've built this awesome, secure tunnel. Now let's actually send something through it. This is where your VPN goes from a cool project to a seriously practical tool.
So hop back over to your server computer for a minute. Pick any folder you want to be able to access from anywhere. Just right-click on it, go into the sharing properties, and tick the box that says Share this folder. Then, one more important click. Go into Permissions and give full control to that same user account that's connecting to the VPN.
So how do we actually get to that folder? It's a two-step process. First, on the server, open up the command prompt and type ipconfig. Don't worry, it's easy. This will show you a bunch of network info. Find the IP address under the new VPN adapter. Now jump back to your client, open File Explorer, and in the address bar at the top, type 2 backslashes followed by that IP address you just found. Hit Enter, and there it is, your shared folder. How cool is that?
Now let's be real. In the tech world, things don't always work perfectly on the first try. So let's dive into Section 5, Troubleshooting. Think of this as a quick fix guide for the most common little roadblocks you might hit.
This old chestnut. You go to connect, and you get some vague error message that the connection couldn't be established. It's super common and super frustrating. But don't worry, the fix is usually pretty simple. The solution is usually to go back to your server, find that incoming connections adapter again, go into its IPv4 properties, and instead of letting it assign addresses automatically, you're going to tell it exactly what to do. Just specify a small range of IP addresses for it to hand out to clients. This little change solves that connection error probably 9 times out of 10.
Okay, how about this one? You're connected. The VPN says you're in, everything looks good, but when you try to access that shared folder, it's just crickets. Nothing happens. What's going on?
This problem is almost always the firewall on your server. It's just doing its job a little too well, and it's blocking the file sharing traffic. All you need to do is dive into the advanced firewall settings, scroll down the inbound rules until you find one called Net Logon Service, right-click, and enable it. You're basically just telling the firewall, hey, it's cool, let this specific traffic through.
We are on the home stretch now. Let's wrap this up with Section 6, and these are some pro tips to really fine-tune your connection and make it work perfectly out in the real world.
Okay, this is a big one. If your server is on a typical home network, it's sitting behind a router. Think of your router as a receptionist for your whole network. Right now, when a VPN request comes from the internet, the receptionist has no idea where to send it. We need to fix that with something called port forwarding. You just log into your router settings and create a simping rule that says, hey, any traffic that arrives on port 1723, please forward it directly to my server's local IP address. This opens up a clear, direct path for your VPN to connect from anywhere on the planet.
And for our final and maybe most important pro tip, by default, when you connect to your VPN, all of your internet traffic tries to go through it, which can really slow things down. There's an easy fix. On your client machine, go into the advanced network properties for your VPN connection and uncheck one little box. Use default gateway on remote network.
And what that little checkbox does is give you the perfect setup. You get a secure, encrypted tunnel directly to your personal server for accessing your files, but all your normal web browsing, watching videos, scrolling social media, uses your fast, local internet connection. It is truly the best of both worlds.
So there you have it. Your very own private network is built. You've taken a massive step toward controlling your own data and your own privacy. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with it first? Thanks for following along and have fun with your new setup.